are live. NBA Rundown, runpuresports.com. Big slate tonight, and I have AP with me. Tyler will be joining us soon. But AP, got everyone fired up with your tweet this morning. And, great to see you today. How's everything been for you in these NBA streets?
Yeah, things are going very well. My totals, I've been kind of low-key on fire. Feel like I got a good read on the pace of these games. I mean, the Celtics game yesterday was on the overs there. Got unlucky with how like the second half played out, but it's a Celtics game. So overtime is always live spread. I mean, it's crazy. You get the Knicks, you get the Celtics. It's like overtime constantly. And then one other thing, I got to give a shout out to JSU. You guys saw his takedown, right? He shipped all three of the last three live final seats last night. Just absolutely incredible stuff from our guy JSU. He's got 4 seats. I think he only needs 3, if that, to get it done. So it's going to be interesting to see with what he does with that 4th seat.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. And Tyler, we were so close to cashing 100 to 1 yesterday. What happened here?
Yeah, that's what took me so long to get here. I was wiping up all the tears because I cried at him last night because we get the triple-double out as a bonus. Capella goes and gets the double-double, and Harden gets 20 assists, 15 points. Can't get double-digit rebounds, finishes on 9. In a game that scored, 280 points?
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe a few more misses would have helped us out, but got pretty close. No money, though.
Yeah, 100 to 1, though. There we go. And I'm sure we'll get one of those real soon. We had a good time on playback last night. Hey, Tyler, we built 2 different lineups, and I cashed with both. Won $50 on the classic slate with the 2-gamer, where we loaded up that Kings game, and then doubled up on the showdown. I don't see Clyde in the chat because, the team that beat me had Kevin Herter as the captain. We had a pretty similar lineup. But
I will say I got to give more credit to these guys that like AP, JSU, Mangone, Big T. How the hell do you guys sit there and just talk up the slate and manage to get all your stuff in?
I mean,
I missed both of my lineups trying to get them in last night listening to Mangone talk.
It's why JSU is the best at it. I mean, it's incredible. If I'm on the early show, I'm even going from the early free show. Then I got to go, like my process, it's kind of crazy. I go right to the heat map. I review Basketball Monster. I update all the injury stuff. I go look at our projections to make sure they're loaded into Sabre to make sure there's nothing like wrong there. Because sometimes there's been a bug. And then it's like, okay, then I got to go back through. If there's injuries, it's like, all right, now I got to update my stuff. It's a whole process. And it takes a little time. But I don't know. It keeps us honest. I think transparency is better.
I don't know how you guys do it when live talking through the slate. Like, I just got lost in the shuffle last night. And there's 10 seconds till off.
So, you know what Mike Big T said you got to do? You have to build the lineup and submit it and then tinker with it already in.
Well, that's kind of hard when we were playing a 2-game slate and one game got ripped off the slate in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So, like for me yesterday, I got to go back and review. I don't know how this happened, but I wanted right around 55 to 65% Marvin Bagley, which would have been right in line with the field, and then all of those other non-Bagley lineups, I wanted Jakob Poeltl in there because I think they're like maybe 500, 600 price difference, but it didn't happen. I only ended up with like 2 Jakob Poeltl builds, so I have no idea what happened there. So my theory was he was going to match Yoke's minutes, and he did. And I think he put up 40 something, maybe. I think him and Joval were in the shipper for the late slate. So, I mean.
Yeah, Fred VanVleet was as well. That was rough for me, AP. Rough time on the playback, having to root for Marvin Bagley. Oh my gosh, I can't.
They had us rooting for Marvin Bagley. We had Blazers -5.5, so we're like stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, it was a tough scene, but we got it done.
The spot was so good, but we all should know whenever he's going to be like mega chalk, I'm not saying fade, but I think the right move would have been like in multi-entry formats, 30%, 35%, because then you're at least half of where the field is at, in case he does nuke. But That was just wild stuff for sure.
So, AP, before we go into the games, what are your thoughts on this Celtics coach? Like, he's the problem. Do you think they're just hitting a rough spot? This is 3 games in a row that they've had a lead and they've blown it late.
I honestly think they're just like having a rough spot. I mean, I don't know. Like Bob Williams, I mean, he needs to get healthy. He's always hurt. Al Horford's getting old. And then it comes down to Tatum and Brown. And kind of what we're seeing is that old school, like they used to be so good at moving the ball and hitting threes. Right now you're seeing more ISO, it seems like Tatum and Brown, like one-on-one games. And I don't know. They need to get back to moving the ball around and playing good defense. So that's the other thing too. Like point guards have been smashing against them. It's been crazy. So defensively, they just haven't been.
I think
good.
That's where the loss of Udoka hurts, because he would have been the guy that whipped them back into moving the ball around, playing more defense. And Mazzulla's just sitting over there, just hanging out. He's like,
Udoka said, "You better play defense, or I'll sleep with your girlfriend." Yeah. No, but Tyler, is it the coach's fault that Grant Williams misses 2 free throws? I mean,
no, it's not. They should have won that game with him at the line, but still, like, you were up 15 going into the 4th, blew that lead again.
I mean,
it's like
they got to figure something. They got to figure something out, because, like, if they entered the playoffs right now, and let's just say they are dead. Battle the Knicks right now, like who were good. I know spread's not liking that, but
I think if you had to power rank the 4 teams in the East right now, it'd go Bucks, Knicks, Philly, Boston, as of right now.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I think they get a
comeback.
You sure about that?
They punted on that game last night, and they still had a chance to win.
I mean, what about the other couple games when the Stars were in? AP was all over the Nets, and they came back and won, and the Nets don't have a star.
This was so funny.
Sixers.
Like when I watched that game, I think it was just me and my boy. My wife and daughter were on a dance thing again, which is freaking crazy. I talk about it a lot, but the amount that they travel is just ridiculous. But I'm watching that game, and like all the people I follow, like, big Boston Celtics people are like, "Oh, turn the game off. This is boring." They're up by 28. Nets climb back and get the win, and they win by double digits. It was just insane.
Yeah. That's interesting, and we'll be able to talk about the Nets tonight, right? They're on tonight's slate. So, any more general NBA thoughts, AP? We only see you once a week. C-Dome's throwing out hot takes when he comes on. I mean, he picked the Knicks to win the Eastern Conference, right? I mean, did you want to try and rival that flamethrower?
I can't. No, we can't go there. I mean, I agree with Tyler. I think Boston, the East is different now. It's definitely different. So, I mean, like the Cavs, I just think they're like, what do you guys think about
the Cavs are like the weird team that's hanging out in the corner that could just at any moment just beat the hell out of everyone in the room, but they don't do it all the time. You know what I mean?
It comes
like
down
if they're hot
to
in the playoffs, watch out.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell, Garland has been playing awesome. And then Mobley, like if Mobley continues to do what he's doing in these like spots, I mean, and then what's his name off the bench? He played, he had a good game just off the bench.
Lamar Stevens.
No, what's
is it Okoro off the bench or LeVert? One of the two wings.
LeVert played good off the bench. He needs to be like a good 6-man for them, like run that second unit.
As long as they get something out of those wings, Okoro, LeVert, Stevens, like if they can hit threes.
Okoro's been playing well.
If those guys can hit those corner threes and stretch defenses out, they are going to be a tough beat in the playoffs.
It's just also that time, like, I mean, look at Philly, like. They let the Pacers score 143 points.
That Pacers team is good with Halliburton.
Yeah, I mean Halliburton's a stud. Like I definitely agree with that. I mean it's just crazy though. They got the win. That's what matters. So I mean, Philly's right. It's going to be interesting as we get down. But I agree, Boston needs to do something. They need to right the ship for sure.
Yeah, I'm not as worried as Tyler is, but we'll see as things go on. But, AP, this is a good slate today because there's lots of teams that I have questions on, for you overall, just to get your thoughts, but they're on the slate, right? So we'll just talk about them as these games come up. Let me pull up Tyler's favorite sports bookmaker to grab our line.
I just had to mess with you all yesterday because you're like, we're we're 0-1. I'm like, we'll spread. The playbook's got 5.5.
Yeah, because Tyler had a better
sorry,
number.
bookmaker gave you the extra 6 cents to give you a -6.
I know, isn't that? Yeah, it was terrible. But we'll dive right in tonight. The first game on the slate is the Milwaukee Bucks, right? We had talked about them earlier. The Bucks, but they bounced back after the loss, right? Because they lost on Saturday. That was a tough loss to the 76ers, right? Obviously, I'm a big Bucks guy. A little disappointed there. We laid the 4, did not get that one done. And they were up by, 15, Tyler, at one point? When Joe Ingles hit that corner 3 to put them up like 15 or 18 sometime in the third quarter, I kind of counted that as a win. You can never do that in the NBA. Let's give credit to the 76ers, however. The Bucks bounce back, get a win over the Washington Wizards. Don't know how much I rate that win because it is the Washington Wizards. Now they're playing a team that we've been liking against the spread so far this season, Tyler, the Orlando Magic, and it's a number that's kind of tempting here. It's a +7, right? Right in our underdog range, right? We don't like +5s. We don't like +4s. +7. Tantalizing. The total's 233.5. Talk to me about the Bucks and the Magic, Tyler.
Yeah, looking at this injury report, I can't touch the Magic right now. Wendell Carter, questionable. Gary Harris is questionable. And then Drew Holiday on the other side is questionable. Middleton will be back. Giannis will be there. Goran Dragic was picked up by them. I think that's just another guy off the bench who wouldn't surprise me, similar to how Myers Leonard's playing.
I don't even see why they did that. I like the way Javon Carter's playing. I was surprised they did that.
I think it's one of those things where, like, if it comes down to it in the playoffs and the bright lights get to Javon Carter, a guy like Dragic has been there. He's played in the finals. He could probably hit some corner threes. He's not going to give you much defense, but you need a bucket. Concern. Yeah, that you can put him out there in the corner. So he's the guy I think could help them in the long run at some points. But in this game, you got to wait for that Holiday news for me. I like the Bucks to win this game, even if he's in or out. But for props wise, like Giannis's assist, if Holiday's out, love that. He's in a spot where he could easily triple-double too. So keep an eye on that. They took his one away from him the other night. Maybe he just comes out and smashes tonight and makes sure he gets it before there's 1 second left in the fourth quarter. So kind of like Giannis's triple-double here is a long shot. And with Wendell Carter questionable, Banchero's rebounds at 6.5 seems like a play here. He grabbed 12 in his first matchup with the Bucks and 7 in his last one. So, and he's been killing it on the board. So that 6.5 intrigues me.
AP, talk to me about the Magic and the Bucks.
Yeah, so these teams, I mean, they recently just played, but it was up in Milwaukee. I mean, the Bucks, they handled them with ease, 139-117. Like Giannis, what he put up, like 50 something DK points in 25 minutes or something. I mean, and if Wendell Carter Jr. is out, I mean, I agree with Tyler. Like, how are they going to stop Giannis? I mean, he's just going to have his way inside. Even if Wendell Carter Jr. is in there, Giannis is going to have his way. So I think Giannis has a big game here. It's tougher for me to touch this game because Orlando has played like tougher at home. I agree with Tyler and probably should wait for the news because if Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis, if they're all playing, I definitely like the Milwaukee side. If Drew Holiday isn't playing, maybe a little bit of a bump to Orlando. I mean, opposing point guards have been crushing Orlando. We just saw Dame's been roasting everyone, though, so it's kind of hard to use that alone. But, I mean, he put up a big boy number against this Orlando team. So I'm probably staying away. My lean is the Milwaukee side. And then DFS-wise, I mean, Giannis is always going to be in play. But the one risk right now is they are in games that aren't close. I mean, they are being cautious with his minutes. So, like, I don't think he's like an absolute smash play. We haven't seen like a ceiling, like a full-on ceiling Giannis game in a long time. I mean, honestly, the last time he touched 70, and that's kind of what you're looking for at 12.4K, depending on the slate, was against Miami back in early February. So it's been a little while since Giannis has put up a big boy number.
Yeah, and he is nursing what? It's a hamstring injury. I wonder if that.
Right,
I think like wrist issues.
I can't sit here though and not think he's going to smash tonight. After what we seen Sunday with all the superstars, KD, Booker, Kyrie, Luka, Kawhi, PG, all those guys went off that day. Then you had yesterday with the Dames, the Jaylen Browns, all the triple doubles that happened yesterday. Now he's sitting here on a couple days rest in the nut matchup. I think he's going to just obliterate this Magic team tonight.
All right, so Tyler said
like
maybe the night for Giannis to break out of those doldrums and
I mean,
exceed
the
his
the
plan.
one thing, though, like one thing too is like if you play Giannis, like you're still like locking in a really nice floor. So, as far as like safety go, like if you're in a single entry 3 max, if the value is there on the slate, you can always like you're never like it's never bad going the Giannis route just because he has such a good floor.
There's my guy Clyde in the chat. Clyde, like to know your thoughts on Kevin Herter, captain, taking down the showdown slate last night. Let's move on. We're back on my Tyler's favorite book, Bookmaker. Tyler, well, there's no legal there, right? Maybe I'll have to get you to make a Bookmaker account.
I'm going to drive the 10 minutes to Ohio to place my bets every day. That's what I'm bringing a car for, Spread.
All right, I'll show you the ease in which you can.
I already looked on the map. I'm
withdraw.
like, we're right here in Kentucky. I'm like, there's that bridge right there that puts you into Ohio. I was like, I'll be on that bridge at least 5 times a day.
Boy, Clyde's still hanging on to that terrible take.
Jabroni Clyde says he stinks. But hey, yeah, go Skurs. Yeah. Suck it, Iowa. I'm on board with that.
Yeah, okay. So you're 1 for 2 on takes today, Clyde. That's not bad. Shooting 50% from the field. The Washington Wizards minus 8.5 in Detroit, taking on the Pistons. Totals 224. Oh my gosh, are we gonna have to play Marvin Bagley again? We'll start with you, AP. Is Marvin if I'm on playback tonight, am I gonna have to root for that jabroni?
Yeah, I mean, look, bigs against this Washington team have done quite well. So I think maybe it's going to be a good, all right. So, I mean, Giannis, Siakam, Randall crushed. I'm just looking. Obviously, we all remember, Pirtle recently crushed. So, the bigs here are going to be in play. I do think from an ownership standpoint, Wiseman, going the Wiseman route over him is always interesting. Or what you could do if you're multi-entering is you could create a rule where it's just, one or the other. Because I think one of them crush here. I mean, they got no bigs. And, a matchup against Daniel Gafford is one that we're not really afraid of. So, yeah, I think people are going to go back to him. It's going to be interesting. I like Delon Wright on the other side of this game, too. Pretty interesting opposing point guards, especially distributing point guards, which that's what Delon Wright is. Do really well against this Detroit team. I mean, most guards, as long as they're motivated and as long as the offense runs through them, whether they're shooting or distributing, do pretty well against Detroit. So you got to like him, I think. And then Porzingis is if Kyle Kuzma is out again, I think we should like Porzingis here. He's had a stretch of a few nice games. So going to be some DFS plays that are for sure in play. One thing I always do, though, on the Detroit side, I always try to, when these guys become chalk, I'm always trying to underproject them just because I'm never going to hate myself if I'm underweight a freaking, Detroit team. It's like the rotations that Casey, rolls out sometimes are so random. So that's where I'm at on this game. As far as the side, what'd you say the side was in total?
It's minus 8.5 for the Wizards. Total 224.
I mean, here's the other thing too. All right, luckily we got a lot of games to cover tonight. I never feel, I don't know about you guys, but I never feel good about backing the Wizards as 7 or 8 point favorites against anyone in the league. I just do not respect this team. So I guess my lean would be the Detroit side, but we're still waiting on some news. It is a back-to-back. So there's a lot of risk here, and they're tanking. I mean, they're terrible. So I'm probably off this game. If anything, my lean would be the under. I think this game could play kind of gross, but I see the Wizards getting the win. Lean under, and then the question's going to be: do you go back to Marvin Bagley? Do you go to James Wiseman? One of these guys smashes.
All right, I'd rather play Wiseman, but that's just me. Tyler, your thoughts here? Wizards, Pistons.
Yeah, I think it's Wizards or pass for me. I mean, I know it's looking like Kuzma could be out. This Detroit team's just flat out tanking. I know they kind of kept it close with Portland, but what does Portland have outside of Dame? They're pretty much what the Nuggets were last year when Jokic was running around by himself. So looking at this, it's either Washington or pass for me. I'm on the other side on the total from AP because I don't think Detroit's playing a lick of defense tonight. They just played last night. Washington's going to get any bucket they want regardless of who is on the floor. So I think they could get 120 points themselves here, where Detroit only has to get you close to 100 or maybe even 105 to push you over. So lean the over. But my favorite play, give me the Porzingis double-double and win at plus 150. I mean, there's no bigs down there. He should be able to get 10 rebounds. He's going to score us double-digit points. And knocking the 9 points off the spread and getting a plus 150, I like that a lot better.
All right, so you like the Porzingis double-double and win, not willing.
And then a question for AP, if that doubtful tag on Monty Morris changes at all, does that change your thoughts on DeLon Wright? Like if he becomes probable, is DeLon Wright just thrown out the window?
Yeah, I mean, you're not playing. Yeah, you're only playing him if Monty Morris is out, because I think DeLon Wright should get 30 minutes, and I mean the price tag's $5K on DraftKings, so it's not like a smash play, but he's shown upside 38 and 50 against Toronto. So I mean, he at least has shown the upside, and it comes. I mean, he's got it. All right. So the other reason too is, I mean, DeLon Wright just really good at racking up steals and blocks too. And matchups against young teams, bad teams are always going to be good for that stat category.
And then any love for Beal? Because I've seen he's done a lot of the facilitating too. He had 10 assists in his second game out there. He had 9 rebounds and 33 points last game. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, I think he's like a safe play, and only if Kuzma's out. So like Beal and Porzingis for me are dependent on Kuzma being out. Just because if Kuzma's in, he's like, I can't play any of these guys. Maybe DeLon Wright, because he can distribute and rack up the peripheral stats. I just think from a raw scoring standpoint, if Kuzma's in, it's going to take away from Porzingis. It's going to take away from Bradley Beal.
Gotcha.
All right. Quiet chat today, but runpuresports.com. Guys, give us a thumbs up. We're here Monday through Friday giving you the winners. We appreciate Jabroni Clyde, right? I mean, he's in there chatting with us. Hey, say hi in the chat. Then I know you're subscribed. Also, give us that thumbs up. The Philadelphia 76ers. Hey, they've been playing well, Tyler. They're plus 2.5 in Minnesota, who's actually quietly been playing well. I know Mangone wants to slander Rudy Gobert. Maybe it just took a little while for him to get integrated, because this team is moving up the standings. They did the same thing last season. So Anthony Edwards, a guy, really takes a little while for him to get going. Timberwolves laying 2.5 at home. This will be the last game of the Sixers road trip. It's been a 5-game road trip. They are 3-1 so far, including that big win in Milwaukee. And then they got the win in Indiana last night. That was a high-paced game, Tyler. Fatigue, road trip, Timberwolves at home. Your thoughts, Tyler?
Yeah, looking at this line, I can't sit here and not think that somebody's getting rolled out here. Like,
what do you mean?
Plus 2.5 to Philly. There isn't a single Philly guy on this injury report that isn't Tobias Harris or PJ
Yeah, but
Tucker.
it's got to be fatigue related, right?
I'm not buying that. Like, I'm not buying fatigue here. They played well in back-to-back situations. They're 6-3 straight up this year. At plus 2, that screams to me that Embiid's popping up questionable either in the next couple hours or he's going to be a late
I mean,
scratch.
it seems like 10-4 without Embiid in the lineup, so.
I'm still worried though. So that's my thought here is someone's getting ruled out. If not, give me Philly. But I'm gonna wait until the last minute to play this game because I think there's gonna be injury news that pops.
I mean, do you think it's because this is their 5th game in like 7 days? It's like kind of crazy. Like this is gonna be their 5th game in March, and it's March 7th, right?
Yeah, I think it's a fatigue thing. Like
and it's a road trip. At Miami, at Dallas, at Milwaukee, at Indiana. I mean, whew.
And I mean that game last night. I mean, they were up and down the court the whole night.
Hey, props to them though. They're 3-1 on this road trip though. So I mean, Philly's playing good.
No, they're playing excellent.
They can slow this game down. Like Joel just gets in the post and just beats up Gobert, gets him into foul trouble. Like Minnesota's not going to be a team that wants to run him up and down the floor. And are we sure Minnesota's all that good? I mean, last week, Spread, you were telling me about if you take out the month of January, they're a bottom 5 team.
Yeah, I know. They played good in the last week.
Yeah, I'm not taking a week's of data and thinking they're a good team now. So I'm on Philly as long as the guys are in.
All right. Gosh, what are my projections here? All right, AP, your thoughts here on the Timberwolves and the Sixers?
Yeah, I kind of lean. I mean, looking at the injury report, I mean, Tyler, you're right.
How do you not take Philly?
I mean, so like Tobias Harris and
they're super tired.
I do think Tobias Harris and like PJ are truly questionable. They were yesterday, got ruled out, and I love how Jalen McDaniels played, rolling into the starting lineup. He's a great addition. Tyrese Maxey's been balling. Harden's been playing well, and like Embiid, like I don't. What's your like on this road trip? I mean, I don't know. He hasn't been like. I guess yesterday was different. 42. That's crazy. He put up 42 points, only had 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Too. I mean, he should have he should have broken the slate.
42 ever. Embiid is the ugliest player. I'm tired of watching him flop around. He had
I mean,
yesterday. Bro, you're like 7'3". Stop doing that.
I mean, he should have absolutely broken the slate. I'm trying to. Who had a big rebounding game?
Though, right?
Should have gave one of those 5 rebounds to James Harden.
Jalen McDaniels 8 rebounds. I think, I mean,
on the ground.
I'm really curious though, because like the total here. I mean, after watching yesterday's game, I would be very nervous betting the under. But it's not like the Wolves, like you said. It's not like they want to play with a lot of pace. So I'm really torn. I like Philly here. They've been playing good on this road trip. The spread is kind of, I mean, it feels trappy. But again, I'm going to side with Philly. They're scared, like they got to win games too, because like their schedule's not getting any easier. They get after this road trip, they get 2 home games, and then they have another long road trip, like at Cleveland, Charlotte, Indy, home at Chicago, then at Chicago, at Golden State, at Phoenix, at Denver. I mean. And then they got 3 more road games to close out the season. So their schedule's not easy, heading into the playoffs. But give me Philly here. I think they close this road game out with a win, or this road stretch out with a win. And I think Harden, Maxey, I think they have another big game.
I mean, this Minnesota team with D'Angelo Russell and McDaniels in pretty much full strength only beat a Philly team by 3 whose starting lineup was Joel Embiid, Milton, Daniel House Jr., and PJ Tucker. And Niang was the only guy that played meaningful minutes off the bench in that game. Now you're going to give me a fully healthy Philly squad?
A fully tied? This is like a scheduled loss.
Fred, we're talking about professional athletes. This isn't us 3 running up and down the floor for 5 out of 7 days.
And I mean, Maxey doesn't get tired. Like Maxey is not going to be tired.
Maxey's Harden knows younger than me, Spread.
Harden knows how to conserve his energy with how he plays. He's always been able to.
There aren't any strip clubs in Indiana, so I mean, you guys trying to have a point there.
There are, but they're not that good.
Yeah, I'd say for a Harden standards, he's not going.
Yeah, Harden's not spending his time there. And
yeah, that's like going to
if Embiid's gas, he just goes into the post and beats up on Gobert. So I mean, I think Philly just kind of cruises here. I don't trust Minnesota. I think they suck.
Well, if we're on playback tonight and the Timberwolves get the win, you're not going to hear the end of it from me, Tyler.
I love it. I mean, for me, like this Wolves team, they're kind of tough to cap. Look at how they're getting it done. They're getting it done as like a true basketball team, not like an Anthony Edwards taking over. I mean, when's the last time he's taken over a game? It's like contributions from a little bit of everyone. So, I mean, to spread to your, I'm not trying to like argue both sides, but to your point, the Wolves are playing good team basketball right now. I love how Maxey's playing. The guy never gets tired. I mean, what was that the other night? Like he was just bouncing around. I mean, they played 40 minutes. They're so similar, right?
That's what I told Spread. I was like, they're the same.
Yeah, they're like the same dude.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with that one. Yeah.
I don't know who would you take straight up? That's a good question. It's a really good question.
If they played 1-on-1 10 times, I think they split 5 right down the middle.
They probably have, right? You could probably go down to Kentucky and find out how that went.
I feel like Coach Cal got them in the
They both came out of Kentucky?
Lost brother. Yeah, they both played on the same Kentucky team, too.
Oh, Giannis is out. There you go.
Okay, so
that's going to change things. And Drew Holiday's out.
So they're punting tonight, huh? I wonder what this line's going to reopen.
I mean, hop on Orlando money line if you can, real quick.
I mean, it's locked
before they take it down.
That's locked and long gone.
Yeah, it's locked on Tyler's favorite sportsbook, Bookmaker EU. All right. Anything more on the Sixers and the Timberwolves? I think this is a fun game, and we'll have some bragging rights tomorrow. And AP, about your idea. I mean, if people want the picks and they don't want to hear the back and forth, they can just go to rumpuresports.com, dial up the playbook, see what says RPB. So on the show, right, it's fine to play both sides, right? People are listening because they want to do some handicapping on their own. Hear the process, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with weighing both sides of the argument. Like I said, if they just want the picks like Gregory Rousseau and they don't want to hear us talk, they just go to runpuresports.com, dial up the NBA playbook, and just bet what RPB says, and you make money. But here, we're talking some basketball, and obviously there's usually good sides to both arguments. But will there be a good side to both arguments in this next game? I'm not sure, because it's the Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo Ball going against the hottest team in the NBA, the New York Knicks. The Knicks have won 9 in a row. They just beat the Celtics again. Now they're going to play what? Okay, I mean, boy, Hornets versus Spurs on a neutral right now. I mean, who would you take, Tyler?
Just blow the arena up. We don't want to see.
I mean, those are arguably
blow the
worst
arena
teams,
up.
right?
Just burn it down. Yeah.
The crazy thing though is you still have, for the Hornets, you still have 4 of their main guys, and they still suck. I mean, it's just crazy.
Well, to be fair, the Hornets offense was just built around like LaMelo do everything, and now that he's gone, they can't really absorb.
They don't
like
have
other teams.
They don't have a real facilitator behind them. Like Dennis Smith Jr. is not doing it. Terry Rozier's
a gunner.
He's been having such a bad year.
No point guard as a backup.
I mean, I was ranting yesterday. So these projection sites have been having, Terry Rozier, like he's been projected the same as like Jaylen Brown was last night. I didn't understand it at all. I mean, it made zero sense to me. I'll look at, all right, kick it to Tyler. I'm gonna look at where the industry has Rozier tonight.
All right, you look that up, and Tyler, you talked to me about this one because 10 points seems like a lot, but like I said, this isn't even like an NBA level team, and they're going against the hottest team in the NBA. I mean, is it a lit down spot for the Knicks? I don't see this team lit down. Like Thibodeau teams don't lit down.
Yeah,
it seems like it's Knicks or pass. I know, so I'm looking at my projections. I feel like my projections are wrong with the Hornets, though.
That's a good one.
They still like the Knicks.
That's a great one. Waving the white flag for Wembanyama.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So what do you think, Tyler? Are you with me? Knicks or pass here? I mean, do we even bet it?
It's Knicks or pass here. The Jalen Brunson news means nothing. He can sit. He could be in street clothes. Quickly will go in. The Hornets, they're one of the worst teams in the league. I said it when LaMelo went down. I'm fading them the rest of the year. Even at -9.5 here, give me the Knicks. I think they absolutely smash them here. And looking at some of these performance doubles, Randall to double and win is
I got -2. If this lands on 10, am I going to hear it from you again?
Oh, probably. But yeah, Randall double and wins -104 if you don't want to lay the points here. Him to score 30 and they win is +154.
Only +150 for 30 and win? That shows you how bad the
look at the
are.
spread. The odds with these kind of affect the spread.
Yeah.
So like if you get a 1 point dog or a 1 point favorite, you get like +300 on those. But at 10, you really don't get that good of value. And then the only other one I'm looking at until they list Quickly's or Brunson's, this RJ Barrett 22 plus and win at +145. I don't like the dude as a player, but he chucks. In this matchup, he should be able to score anything he wants.
All right, did you find that Rozier projection, AP?
Yeah, it's really wild to me, and it's not like I don't want to. I mean, when we do projections, SaberSim, our partner, they're phenomenal. They do projections. Everyone does projections. And what kind of happens is you get kind of this, like, everyone is kind of within each other. Like there's no one that's usually like way off the mark. Everyone's been over on Terry, and I'm seeing it again today. Like just picking on our love SaberSim, but like 40, and this could get changed too as we get closer to lock, but 40.43. Now, I think Captain must be like hearing me rant about this because I know we had him at, I think, 37 or 38 last game. And like when you look at, there must be something with the Sims and how they do that. When you look at the range of outcomes, I mean, like the distribution is wild. Like and this is like across the industry too. And I think it's not correct because he's having such a bad year. So I'm going to continue to fade him. I've been fading him, and it hasn't disappointed me. I mean, he hasn't come close to this projection in a long time too. So I love the spot for Quickly. I think they can rest Brunson. Don't need to play him tonight. You don't give him another day. Quickly can handle this. Quickly, Julius Randle, Josh Hart off the bench. Mitch Robinson sets up to be a good game for him. And then look, man, I'm treating Charlotte just like I would Detroit, just like I would the Hornets. I'm under-projecting this day, just like I would the Rockets, under-projecting them all. Terry, I'm going to take probably 6 points off his projection. Oubre, I'm going to take him down. Hey, I'm taking all of them down. I'm not dealing with these.
Out.
What?
Just take them out of the pool.
Yeah,
Don't
you
play
take them out of
any
the pool
Hornet.
too. I mean, no, and I don't I think the Knicks just destroy them too.
Yeah.
Give me let Brunson sit. Maybe we get a better line here, and I don't think it matters. I'm taking Quickly. He's good. RJ Barrett stepped up when Brunson was out. Josh Hart will do his thing. So what do you think the starting lineup for the Knicks is going to be come playoff time? Do you think Grimes continues to get the run? Why would you not start Josh Hart, who's been incredible? I mean, he has to start come playoff time, right?
Unless they want to run that second unit. Yeah, it's Tibbs we're talking about.
He's all
I like that idea though of getting him up into that starting lineup.
Like if it was me, it would be Brunson, Hart, Barrett, Randall, Mitch Rob with quickly coming in, running the second unit with one of you want one of some of these guys on like Randall, Barrett, one of these other pieces. I mean, Tibbs is going to run a tight rotation come playoff time anyway.
I mean, I'd be down. Me personally, I don't know how well this would work, but a Brunson, Grimes, Hart, Randall, Mitch Rob to start, and Barrett and Quickly just torch teams off the bench.
They won't move Barrett to the bench.
They won't, but I think that's where he belongs.
You're not a big fan of RJ Barrett. RunPureSports.com, guys, give us a thumbs up. Tyler, prop questions. Do you like the over on the Mark Williams rebound prop? Tyler, I'm loving Mark Williams, but you're our prop specialist. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, I'm probably staying away from it tonight. I mean, Randall's on the floor, Mitch Rob's on the floor, but it did come down. Looking at it on FanDuel now, it's down to 8.5. It was 9.5. At 8.5, he should be able to get the 9, but probably still staying away from it.
All right.
Mitchell wasn't on my radar when I was going through props this morning.
I love Mark Williams. But boy, he had that chemistry with LaMelo, and I think that he's less effective now because he was a great rim runner for LaMelo. It's really too bad that we're not able to see that for the rest of the season. How about Mitch Rob points or points, rebounds, and assists? Any love for Robinson tonight from you, Tyler?
Nah, not really on him either. He's too foul trouble for me.
All right.
And they pick some ugly players in the chat to bet on spread.
Hey, I mean, this is what we're doing here.
I know sometimes you find the gimme numbers on those guys, but like Mitch Rob could rack up 4 fouls in like 30 seconds.
How about this one? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, go ahead, guys.
He's saying Mitch Rob double-double and Porzingis double-double, 4-1.
Go ahead, AP.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this is another spot, too, where like if they beat down on Charlotte, which we all think they should, I don't know. I'm fine with just like not over projecting anyone. I mean, Randall's price, like Randall should have a good game, but as far as like a true ceiling outcome, I mean, if they're that far ahead, I don't know. I'm really DFS wise, I'm torn, but I like that.
Charlotte's at home. I don't know, even in that blowout, I don't know if I think it maybe cost you 2-3 minutes total. I mean, Brandon Ingram came back in last night against the Kings down 25.
Yeah, we just they're
also just like minimal bodies in New Orleans right now.
Good point.
We just got some other spots that I think are going to be real tasty. My Nets going to go back to them. We're getting to a few tasty spots.
Yeah, I'm fine staying away from this game altogether. I do agree with you, AP. But I'm just saying, if you do like Knicks, if you have a conviction, I wouldn't let the blowout scare you. Our guy Clyde's asking about Brunson double-double. We don't even know if Brunson plays. So we're going to stick away from that one. Yeah, they're liking you having RJ coming off the bench. I just don't. That's where the personalities come into it, right? It's not just 2K. I wonder how he'd react. And I can't even imagine the fan base because they argue. The Knicks fan base. Do you follow Nick? I have some Knicks Twitter follows, Tyler. I mean, RJ is polarizing. Let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. They suck on the road. Tyler, that was a terrible performance against the Lakers, right? I was rooting against the Lakers. and the Warriors couldn't get it done. Now they're in OKC, a team that we really have to question if they're trying to win. And where I think that's disappointing is I think it's really hurting Shea's All-NBA candidacy, right? As they're kind of ramping him down, and I wonder how many minutes he will get tonight. When I was looking over props, I didn't want to play any Thunder players because I'm worried if they're all going to be capped around 29 minutes. So the Thunder are +4 at home. Highest total on the board, 243. Tyler, start with you.
Yeah, I'm on the Warriors here, regardless that they're on the road. Jalen Williams is questionable. Wiggins is still out, but he really doesn't mean much in this matchup. I know last matchup he would have been great to have on defense against the Lakers. He could have just killed some of those wing threes that they were hitting home. Wouldn't really have helped on the AD game, but would have slowed the other guys down. You just look at this OKC team. They don't want to win. Now you're going to give me Golden State at -4. They're teetering on the play-in. They need every win they can get right now to keep themselves out of that play-in. So I'm on Golden State here -4.
I do not want to take the Warriors on the road, but
I just don't think OKC wants to win.
Yeah, I know. That's why it sucks, because it's like throw projections out. I think it's a tough game to handicap. What do you think, AP?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm still tilted so I've been playing opposing point guards against the Jazz for a while now because they crush. And then we get that report. The SGA, coming straight from their coach, is going to be limited moving forward and will sit likely on back-to-backs. What happens? Plays 36 freaking minutes. Like, are you kidding me? I literally had him as a core play. The news came out, and I'm like, I went through all of it. I'm like, you know what? They're trying to lose games. They don't need to push him because they're trying to lose games. He likely plays 29, 30 minutes. They got Giddy. They can, flip-flop these guys. There's no way he plays 35-plus minutes. What does he do? He plays 36 minutes and absolutely torches the slate, putting up almost a 60-piece. I mean, who freaking knows with this team, man? I'm so tired of them. It's just such a tough spot. So, I mean, when you look at it, though, I mean, they won back-to-back games over the Jazz. They should want to lose this game, and the Warriors are dying for road wins. So, I agree with Tyler there. But, again, I might stay off of it because I'm just tired of getting tilted by OKC. In DFS, I will say Jalen Williams, the one Jalen, is interesting. 7K. I like these players like him, these power forwards, 4 players against this Warriors team. So if OKC keeps it close, it's going to come down to SGA having a big game, Jalen Williams having a big game. I don't trust them, though, man. If you're multi-entering, you're playing 150 lineups, have them in your pool. I think that's the way to go. Outside of that, man, I'm torn. I think I want to lean Tyler's side, but it's just such a tough spot for me to cap.
Yeah, I mean, this is really where you guys separate yourselves on the DFS side.
All right. So if they go, here's one other thing too. If Looney gets sent to the bench and they go small ball, I'm going to really like that for the over. So
interesting. I kind of like Looney to crush tonight.
You don't think they send him back to the bench? I mean, that small ball lineup with Poole, Dante, Clay, Dre, Steph.
I mean, who knows with Steve Kerr?
You don't need Looney on the floor in this matchup either.
Except it's just a net matchup for him. He would just cry.
Bigs like OKC always go small, and then they like a big like Looney. It's like they take him out. They run him off the court.
Yeah, or he could just get offensive rebounds every possession.
The last few bigs have been crushing. Like Kessler had 2 big games. Sabonis had a couple of good games. So it's a hit or miss spot, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. How about this question, Tyler? Steph, more than 4.5 threes. What do you think?
If his minutes get ticked up, then I'll play his props. But until I see he's off that minutes restriction, I'm not touching him.
AP, any Isaiah Joe?
No, not for me.
All right, and that's it. There you go. You get the answers here. I'll run through sports.
I hate playing OKC, guys. I hate it. I'm like, it's just.
This is where the season is a grind, man. Like, I get annoyed with these teams. Just,
I mean, you have a good read on a guy like Isaiah Joe, then they go to Trey Mann, and Trey Mann hits his first 2 shots. The coach gets, has to go change his undies and lets him play a little bit longer. It's just, it's a tough spot.
I know you're going to have a lot to say about this game, AP. The Brooklyn Nets are -6 in Houston, taking off the Rockets. The Rockets, the last place team in the Western Conference, yet they're coming off 2 wins in a row. But those wins over the San Antonio Spurs. Jalen Green had a good night in his last outing, 31 points in just 27 minutes. But I wanted to bring that up because it just feels like no one on the Rockets is getting more than 30 minutes right now. They're another team that is just like, I mean, just this month-long tanking is tough to watch as an NBA fan. And I know you guys are great at taking advantage of it on the DFS side, but it does get kind of tough sometimes. Boy, I don't know. I mean, to the Rockets, they've won 2 in a row. We'll start with UAP. They're +6 at home. The total's 230.5, and I know you have interest in the Nets from DFS.
Yeah, and this is all right. Back to what I was talking about, Terry Rozier. So now going over to the Nets, Spencer Dinwiddie projected at score 42, so just a couple more than Terry Rozier. Mikal Bridges projected to score 40, less than both of those guys. Are you kidding me? Like, this is, and you know, the thing about like projections is, and at this point of the season, this is where we can capitalize on mistakes that we're seeing. Mikal, if you've been watching their games, Mikal, like, I love the switch against Boston. It wasn't Dinwiddie running things. He still did from time to time, but when they needed to get a bucket or needed, you know, a play to be made, the ball was in Mikal Bridges' hands. I like that at the end. If he can be their closer, take it up to that next level, I like this Nets team. Dinwiddie, I mean, this is the best matchup for opposing point guards, shooting guards, combo guard, all of them. And I love Mikal. I love Dinwiddie. I'm going to bump them way up. Cam Johnson's been a stud. You know, Claxton, I think, is fine. The problem with Claxton is just minutes. And then, you know, the thing that I've seen at least is sometimes they like to go small. They're a little bit faster. They can close out much better. They can go to Royce O'Neal, you know, if they want to go small. And then Dorian Finney-Smith he can kind of do whatever. And then they also have Cam Thomas too. So it's like they're kind of starting to figure things out. I think this is going to be a fun matchup tonight. I like the over. I think the Nets side smashes in DFS, and I'm going to be stacking them up again. So, and I'm a little bit under on the Houston side. I put them in that same category as OKC, as Charlotte, as Detroit, and the Spurs. I'm not going to force these guys in if I don't have to. The only time I'm doing it is if like Tari Eason, his price was egregious for a while, and he was obviously getting really nice minutes, and he's been a fantasy point per minute beast. He's been absolutely a beast coming off the bench. He's 4-8 now, so I don't think he's as much of like a lock or a good play as he once was. So for me, I'm under on the Rockets side. I like the Nets side, and I like the over, and I'm going to stack up these Nets pieces in tournaments.
All right, so you like the Nets there. Tyler, what are your thoughts here on this game?
Yeah, smash spot for the Nets. Those 2 wins for the Rockets' last 2 games mean nothing for me. They were both against the Spurs. That's probably the worst team in the league right now. So I think all that did was discount this a little bit. We get them at -6. They have all the wing defenders in the world to slow down these guys like Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., and these guys. I think they just smother this team. They can't cover. Houston can't cover whatsoever either. So Dinwiddie, Bridges, Johnson, all these guys are going to have big games. I like the guards better. I like Dinwiddie in this spot just because the guards all year have smashed Houston. So give me Brooklyn and give me the Dinwiddie props. And I don't mind playing some Bridges props either because, of course, he's the best player on their team.
All right, sounds like a plan. Not much to talk about. Some of these games with these tanking teams.
Don't you guys think the Nets are? I mean, if you look at this team, they have pieces to bring in. You would think they got pieces to, like, if they could bring in one alpha, like one star. I mean, they're right back in the mix. I mean, obviously this is thinking into the future, but and I'm not the best with contracts, but Ben Simmons, they got to figure out a way to get rid of him.
Yeah, they got to get that one going.
Just get him out of the league. Or
I wouldn't even mind doing one of those. Let's stretch this contract 10 years and pay him $5 million for the next 10 years. Why not
send him down to the G League? Let him pad his stats. See if he can do it against those guys. And if he can't, then it's like, all right, you're done.
Why not just change the rules and cut him? I mean, they got to go into the CBA and be like, bro, when we got guys doing this, I mean,
there should be a matchup between Brooklyn or Houston owns all of Brooklyn's picks. So it's like, I know it means nothing really for this matchup, but like, you really don't want to lose to the team that owns all your picks and enhance their chances. So you beat up on them here. I think it's Brooklyn or pass. No chance I'm touching the Rockets.
Yeah. I mean, 6 at home, interesting. Nets 4-6 over their last 10. They have had some stinkers, right? They've looked good in some games, and they have had some stinkers. And AP, I agree with you, though. From a team building perspective, they don't seem too far away from being able to contend again. They have plenty of pieces. You don't need an 11-man rotation. So they have plenty
I'm
of
telling
guys
you,
Well, like,
I would not
just-
want to play them in the playoffs, only because if they get hot with what they can do from the 3-point line, they could steal some wins. And so if you catch them on the right time and they get hot from deep, they're going to be tough, man. They're going to be really – I mean, I say this lightly, very lightly.
How you said they were 4-6, Brad. Have you looked at the teams they've lost to?
Go ahead, talk to me.
New York, Milwaukee, New York, Philly, Atlanta, Chicago. I know the last two aren't as good as the other ones, but they weren't beating the New Yorks and the Milwaukees of the league right now either. And they got a win over Boston in there. Houston's only 2 wins were against San Antonio.
They had lost 11 in a row before that.
Yeah, they had a 21-point loss to Denver, a 16-point loss to Portland, a 15-point loss to Golden State.
Jalen Green missed some of those games, though.
I don't think he makes much of a difference.
This is
I got you to talk crap about your boy.
This is like
on the floor.
This is a must-win spot. This is a must-win spot too, because they got a 5-game road trip. They play the Bucks, Minnesota, Denver, and OKC after this game. So,
yeah,
I love the Nets side. I think they dominate here.
And then you were talking about bringing somebody onto this roster, like all they need is like an alpha. He's not the best guy in the NBA, but he's probably going to demand his way out this summer. Trae Young, surrounded by all these wings in Claxton.
I would never add Trae into your team. Why would you get rid of Kyrie just to bring in Trae Young?
I mean,
it just seems like it's just like another headache. Like you must have
the NBA we're talking about.
You might answer this, but we'll just get the specific. Can you put Dinwiddie, Bridges, and Cam in the same lineup, AP?
I mean, it's kind of thin.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd do that. I mean, Cam Thomas, 7-6 minutes. There's going to be better value plays than him. So I think you can play Dinwiddie and Bridges though together.
All right. Well, I'm having a great day, so I'm not going to let this bring me down, Spencer. I'm not falling for it today. You do not get the Mikey Award of the day. I'm not falling for that.
That kid's 100% going to be the guy that just shines at the Combine and then just can't play football.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to go.
He's breaking like every quarterback record at the Combine. People were just oozing over him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. All right, let's go on to the Utah Jazz. Another team, man, that did well, and now they're just tanking. NBA's got to do something about this, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. This has been this way for the last 30 years. But the Jazz, man, after kind of being the feel-good story from the season, now they're +9. They're in Dallas. They're taking on the Mavericks. Let's see. So, wait, the Mavericks fell on Sunday. That was a great game against the Phoenix Suns. This is their first game since then. So you think, right, a bounce-back spot here, right, Tyler? You'd expect they're going to be pretty fired up to hit the court, get the taste of that loss out of their mouth. The total's 239 here. 9's a lot of points to lay for a team, though, that I don't know if I believe in. I don't know if I believe in the Mavericks. I was really high on the Mavericks, and I haven't liked what I've seen from this team so far. How do you think your favorite crybaby Luka is going to do tonight against the Utah Jazz?
I think he does good in this matchup. I mean, Dallas against Utah. Dallas is at home. They play a lot better. They're 21-13 at home to 12-19 on the road. So I do think they pick up the win. I don't think they drop this as an upset loss. I'm just not laying 9 with this team.
That's a lot of points.
And I'm not coming back in on the other side with the Jazz +9. I'd probably just play it through these performance doubles. Like a Luka double and win is +140. Kyrie, maybe you have to build this one at 25+ points in money line because the 30+ points in win is +210. 30 is a little high for me there, though. And then even is 4 +3s and they win. Would be some ways I'd come at this game.
All right. AP, what do you think of this game between the Mavericks and the Jazz?
Yeah, this is our over bet for the night. I'm just continuing to hammer these spots. Dallas plays no defense, which they got to get figured out. But they got all the offense in the world now. So I think it's going to be a lot of buckets. 237.5. I mean, the total, it is starting to climb up. So I think against Philly, it was like 230. We hammered that over. Easy cash. I think tonight, though, I think Dallas puts up like 130+. So you just need Utah to do the rest. And I think they'll stay within striking distance. So, I mean, gosh, it'll be kind of interesting. Can we play? So the question: can we play Luka and Kyrie? That becomes a little bit difficult if this game plays out kind of like the Spurs game did when they dominated the Spurs. Luka put up 61. He only played 30 minutes. He didn't need to close. Kyrie played, I think 29 minutes, put up 36. I don't know if you don't get the right game script where it stays close. I don't know if Kyrie and Luka, I mean, they're tougher plays for sure. I think this could be a spot where we saw Christian Wood finally play a little bit more minutes. I know he's such a liability, but if you go back using the Spurs game where they handled them easily as kind of the measuring stick, he played 22 minutes. If Wood plays 22 minutes against this team, it's a good matchup for him too. I think he could put up a nice number. Tournament play only though. He's 5'3". The price is finally where it should be on a guy like him. But how many times have we seen him? And like if he got 24 minutes, like he's put up 40 plus in 24 minutes. So it's a minutes risk, rotation risk for sure. But I think we see a lot of points here. And if it's not coming from Kyrie or Luka, it's going to come from these peripheral pieces. So this game should be fun. Should be a lot of points. A little bit tougher though, DFS wise, especially with Utah, kind of looking like they're tanking again.
I'm not the DFS expert. I always rely on you guys, but just to throw out my original opinion, I don't think I would play Kyrie and Luka together.
It only worked. You need the
exact. It worked in one game.
Philly, the Philly game.
And when it works though, you're gonna smash.
Where are you getting the value to make that lineup work, right? I think you just choose one.
You can only make it work if it's like a 3-game slate, 2-game slate where your options are limited. You need the right. It would have worked again if Luka would have made that little jumper, send the game to overtime, but he missed. So
let's circle back to an earlier game. I see this reopened at -2. I mean, so let's just say that I'm dead set on playing that, right? Am I getting the value from the Bucks? Is that how I get there? Is the Bucks the best value on the board now? Do you think, AP?
Oh, asking me? With Middleton, I mean, they're still going to play hard, and we're still waiting on news.
-2.
Yeah, no, I think they could. We see these
Brooke
guys.
Lopez, they can win that game.
Yeah, and Middleton. I mean, Javon Carter. Yeah, Javon Carter is a great play now. He's going to crush.
Point guards always smash Orlando.
So we got like two. Let's get to this last game because I gotta hop off here in like 3 minutes or so, but. We got two smash plays at the point guard spot.
My final point, and this will be leading right into the game. Memphis Grizzlies -1, Los Angeles Lakers 224.5. I'd much rather do like a Kyrie AD lineup than a Kyrie Luka. But Tyler, let's start with you. Side total. Actually, we'll go to you, AP, because then you can just break down this game, give a best bet, and then Tyler and I will finish it off. Grizzlies -1, Lakers.
Yeah, I like how the Lakers are playing right now. They are, since the trade, they've only lost they've dropped 2 games. I mean, they're playing tough right now. They're 4-2. Okay, yeah. I think they were at home TNT game. I think the Lakers get it done against the Grizzlies. There's a lot of drama going on with this Memphis team. Which Tyus Jones is a stud. What an absolute gem of a backup point guard. He should be starting on so many teams in the league right now, and it's his time to shine. He's an absolute lock in fantasy. I'll have him in every single lineup. Him and Pride Carter now. 2 locks on the slate for sure. At that, so man, it's going to be hard for me. I'm going to have to decide between McHale and Dinwiddie now, most likely, just because Tyus and Carter are going to lock up 2 spots. But give me the Lakers to get this done at home. I think AD has another big game.
All right, you want to go ahead?
You want my best bet, and then I'll hop off. Yeah. So my best bet is. Hold on, what was I looking at? I'm going to go Lakers. I like the Lakers +1 at home against Memphis. AD big game. Let's roll with that. My other one was
take the money line.
Yeah. You can do that too.
It's -105 on the money.
The one that was close was I feel good about the overs, the 238.5, but that number is more correct. Like I have the number at like 241 plus. So I still think there's some value, but it's getting closer to where I think it should be. So
3 points is right around where Tyler and I are tough to tag it. We want more than 3 points on
more than 3 points. Okay.
We want 4
awesome.
or more. Yeah. Unless we love, but if you love the matchup, right? We don't always go right after predictions.
Yeah.
AP, thank you for having us. We'll
appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Sounds good. See you guys.
All right. Tyler, talk to me about the Grizzlies and the Lakers.
While I look at this spread and talk about this game, do me a favor.
Okay.
Open up a new tab on your computer.
Type in NBA. 5,000 open.
Type in NBA standings and go to the West side for me and let me know how that play-in tournament looks. And then as for this game, I mean,
is this because you see Jonathan Nelson in the chat and you guys, because I didn't fall for the Anthony Richard thing, you're trying to just get me going this way. So all right, I did it for you, Tyler. Dallas is 33-32-7. The Clippers are 34-33-8. The Utah Jazz, who are tanking, screw you, Danny Ainge. First, you helped the Lakers in this, 31-34 in ninth. Portland all the way up to 10th at 31-34.
Oh yeah, because they win the tiebreakers.
Oh, is that why?
No, they don't win anything. The Lakers are in that 10th spot.
On mine, I'm on CBS right now.
Oh,
they have the Lakers at 11.
It's showing me the Lakers have that 10th spot by the
They probably know. They probably know who they're talking to. They don't want me to see that. New Orleans, who looks absolutely terrible, is 31-34 in 12.
Yeah, you have a 4-way tie for that last spot, but it looks like the Jazz and the Lakers have the tiebreakers to get in.
But both the Jazz and the Pelicans are quitting, so I think it's going to be Portland and the Lakers.
Yep. So they're going to get in.
Quitting.
Our guy Jonathan Nelson's here. He's letting us know it's Pau Gasol's jersey retirement night.
Whoop-de-doo.
AD's going out there. He's smashing spread. This Memphis team is just in shambles. Another fun thing about that whole drama thing that's going on over there, before that night occurred, Steven Adams was leading the charge to call for a meeting about how they need to be more disciplined on the road and not just act a fool. 2 hours later, John Morant's flashing a gun all over Instagram Live. So
he didn't like fire or anything.
But you still can't do that because you flew it in on a team plane. That's 50 games. Go sit down.
They're not giving him 50 games. Someone's going to take the rap.
You can't.
One of his little homies is going to be like, "Oh no, I drove it there."
How can you take the rap when you're flashing it? So somebody drove from Memphis to Denver with a gun for him.
That's what he's going to say. That's what. Somebody's going to say that. You wouldn't say that for $500K?
I would, but it's not going to work. Especially
when JC Zargo might end up saying it.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. There's no way. This ain't the 90s. They're not paying off the entire people that investigate NBA teams. This ain't going to work, spread. He's suspended.
Scott Foster's still employed. He's not getting 50
suspended.
games.
He's getting at least 25.
No way.
He's not getting this 2-game suspension and coming back.
I mean, Clyde thinks they're giving him 50 games, but if you've seen some of his picks lately, he thinks Herter sucks, so that's good for me.
Yeah, it's Lakers or pass for me. Love the Tyus Jones prop, his points, his assists.
It's so easy. It should be like over 20. It's 15.5.
Yeah, take his double-double. His points plus assists is 24.5. We know point guards that kill this LA team. I love that prop.
All right. I'd love for Memphis to win tonight. I don't think so.
I can't believe you don't think he's going to have anything happen to him. Like, they're just going to
I do, but I think it's going to be like 10 games.
I don't think so. When there's rules already set, you can't just change them. The minimum for 8.
Yeah, but he's going to get one of those little homies in the background to be like, it was my gun. He just held it. Or he's going to say it's not even a real gun. It's a water pistol. Yeah, it is my favorite catchphrase. I say that way
10
too
years
much.
ago.
And it actually is believable too. It's not, I mean, these things are completely believable.
Yeah, our guy Jonathan Nelson says the best. What happened to when Gilbert Arenas brought his gun to the locker room? He was done for the season. But he brought his in the duffel bag and he drove.
But he like pulled it on a teammate. He wasn't like faking like he was in some rap video. I mean, he didn't even do anything.
Still can't do stuff like that, spread.
I can't believe I'm sticking up for this stuff here. I should be the curmudgeon-y old man trying to get him suspended. All right.
You're playing it like the 90s where everything went and they were like doing drugs in the locker room.
Bro, you should have seen the 80s. They were all doing blow.
I was literally getting to that. There's a clip where Gilbert Arenas says something about Jordan. He's like, he literally ran the cocaine out of the 80s.
Because that's why he got pissed when he got drafted to the Bulls. he was so pissed that they all doing cocaine in the locker room. He went to management and was like, "Get this guy at the team, this guy at the team, this guy at the team." Yeah, and I heard the Suns in the late 70s, early 80s, like they were all just doing blow like at halftime and stuff. Can you imagine at that point? Yeah.
Did you ever see the interview with Lawrence Taylor where he was like, "We smoked cigarettes in the locker room, we did this, we did that," and he looked at a player that's playing right now. I can't forget who it was, but he was like, "You guys don't do that anymore," and it's like, no.
Bro, there's a picture of Lawrence Taylor making a sack against the Cowboys, and you can see the vial of cocaine through it because his pants are so tight. You can see the vial of cocaine while he's making the sack.
That's another argument why I say today's players would just crush back then.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
They're
With
so
all the
soft.
these guys are just too athletic nowadays. There's no like if you found a guy in the NBA with cocaine in his system right now, spread, what happens? He ain't playing.
It's how hard it is to get caught with cocaine in your system. It only stays in there for like 48 hours.
2 days. Yeah.
All right, fun show today. I don't even know how we got here. Because we had such a good show, Tyler, and we were right on point.
You kept telling me that Jaw's not going to get in trouble and his little homeboy's going to take the credit for him. They're like 4 states over, so I guess he drove 36 hours to get him his gun there.
I mean, he's going to say that. I mean, Chris Carter said you always have a fall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone will take the route. You wouldn't say you drove a gun 4 states for $500K or $2 million or whatever.
I would, but when the guy already publicly gave an apology, he's in trouble, spread.
I mean, wow.
This is another one that I always see. This old guys always default to this. What are you gonna do? Just foul him? Like literally, what are you gonna do? Just foul the guys? Guess what? They're just gonna stand on the free throw line and make their free throws.
I'm not getting into that. Let's do the best bets for today. But I agree with you, Shapeshifter.
Of course you do. But
of course I do.
Give me the Nets -6. They're smashing the Rockets.
All right, Tyler. Give me the Minnesota Timberwolves -2.5. Let's go. You can have fun with this one tomorrow. Guys, of course, the show is brought to you by RunPureSports.com. Give us a thumbs up. My promo code is SPREAD15. But if you agree with Tyler and you love today's players and you think that nothing good happened before Tyler was born, use that promo code Tyler15. Tyler, AP's not here. You're going to have to get us out of here with the words of wisdom. What do you got?
Yeah, I just got to counter that. I don't think that nothing good happened before me. There were good players. But when you're yipped up on the booger sugar and the white lightning, I don't think you're running around with the LeBron James of today. So we're going to hit these Nets bets. The Timberwolves are going to lose. I get to make fun of spread tomorrow. And we'll see how our guy C-Dump's feeling about that Knicks take.